Hello, this is Ashee from Crafting with Ashee and welcome to this card making tutorial. This is the lovely little birthday card, Let's Celebrate, and it's very simple but I really love how bright and happy it is. And this card base here is Daffodil Delight. We've got some Pool Party and this is Pool Party again. So let's make another. I'm going to do slightly different colourway this time. So my colour base here is real red. Then I've got a piece here of basic white that's going to go on the inside. Now all the measurements and the supply list will be able to be found on my blog post, and you can find the link to that in the description box below. So let's stick this one down like that. Now we're going to work on our front panel. So let's do that. This is going to be our front panel. So first I want to stamp my balloon. I'm going to need some scrap basic white cardstock to do that, so let me find a piece of scrap if I can. I've got some scraps here, see if anything's big enough. Nope. I always try to go through my scraps first, see if I can find something, but I don't think I can in that scrap pile, so let me try over here. Sorry, I can see a piece here. Here we go. Whoops. Sorry about that. Right, so stamp set we're going to use is this one called Balloon Festoon. And I'm going to use this lovely balloon here. And need a block. So let's find a block. This will do. Pick it up. Now I think I am going to stamp my balloon in real red. Why not? I love real red. It's just a gorgeous red. It's my favourite red that we have. So I'm just going to stamp this down here, hold it in place down. Lovely. So that's what we've got so far for that. I'm going to stamp it once more, just I'm not totally happy with that. I think I've got something on my stamp now. I can see there's something on the stamp which is what's caused that little white splodge there. So what I'm going to do is just give it a good clean. I'll make sure that's removed. So now it's dry. Just gonna ink it up again and go for another go. Hold it down. Oh yeah, much happier with that. Right, if you know me, I'm a great believer in cleaning up as you go along, so we're going to do that. Let's put this back in its little home, and then we also want to stamp our sentiment which said let's celebrate. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, let's do that celebrate again. I was debating whether I'd use a different one, but I don't think so. I'm going to just pick that up with a block, and I'm going to stamp it in real red again. I just like the colour. Perfect. Right, let's close this up, and I'm going to cut them out using the balloon die here, and then I'm going to cut the centre out using the other die that I haven't got with me at the moment, but I'll show it to you later, and then I'll be back. Okay, so there is our balloon cut out, and there's our sentiment. I used this little frame here from the Scalloped Blooms dies to do that, but I don't want all of the extra bit on the side, so I'm just going to chop this off using the trimmer very quickly. just stick it in and chop that off. So now I've got it the right size for me. So, okay, so let's bring back our card base, which is here. And so now we can start to assemble our card. So I can see where my balloon is going to go. It's going to go somewhere up here, roughly around there. So I'm going to put this up on a dimensional so I have it in place, but just with the one so I can easily move it if I need to. So I'm just going to put that gently there. And then I want to stamp the tail. So I've got my block, my stamp set, and you can have a long or a short tail, whatever you want. I'm using this long curly thing here for my tail. Well, this is what I used last time. You know what, I'm going to change my mind rather than use the shorter one this time. But they could easily both be the tails, could be bunting, could be anything you want it to be. You don't have to do things just the way they were intended. Make things your own. So I don't need that large block. Get away with a smaller one this time. Put that down there. And then I think I'm going to have it coming from underneath there. So what colour shall I do it in? Let's do it in blue. Just because I want to. So this is Azure Afternoon. And I'm just going to stamp it so it's just underneath there. I should have done it a bit lower. This one I only put one dimensional on. I'm not happy with that, so I'm going to do the other side. Yeah, that's better. Happier with that. There we go. Let's clean this up now. And let's put this back in its home, because it's such a small little fine piece. It's very easy to lose that. Okay. I'm going to bring back my dimensionals. I want a few more underneath this balloon, at least one more here. And one at the top, I think, as well. Take the backing off if it wants to come. That's better. Feels more even dimension. And then we're going to have this little one that comes. Not sure how I want this to go. I want it like that. No. I think like that. I wanted to pop from the background, so I'm actually going to run it through my, close this up for now, real red ink pad, just so I catch the edges. Like that. And then we're going to pop this up as well on some dimensionals. So let's bring those in. I'm going to use the last of my edges that I've got here. Edges of your dimensionals are all good dimensions, so don't waste those. And let's just take the backings off here. And what did I have? How did I say I wanted it? Actually, I'll change my mind. I'm going to have it like that. Okay. Before we go any further, I think I'm going to stick this down on a card base. Now, I'm going to have a little bit of gold around the outside, but I really like the look of that. But I don't want to waste all of this wonderful foil sheet, so I'm going to do a technique called gutting. And this means we can use the inside of our foil sheet as well. So you're basically just going to take out the center. So you're just leaving the edges there, and anything I haven't cut properly I can just use the scissors now because it's mainly cut. And no one's going to see any of the centre bit, so don't worry, I'm just going to see the outside. Okay, so we can save that now for another day. We can stick this down to our card base. Like that. And then we're just going to stick this one on top like this, as I said, and no one will know there's a big hole in the centre. That's another way to make your supplies go even further. Okay, so, oops. So I really like the way that's looking. So now I just want to add a little bit more stamping to my panel. And then I go in first with my stars. So there's various bits here you can use. And I want to use the stars, which is this one here. So we're just going to stamp these randomly, rotating the stamp so nothing's in the same place at the same time. I think that's maybe something up here. Yeah. Sometimes it's difficult to know when to stop, as you can tell. But I think that's going to be fine. So, actually I want something in this corner as well. It seems a bit empty. Right, that has to be enough. I'm not doing any more. Let's move that aside. Let's bring this in to clean this up. And then finishing touches are going to be some rhinestones. So let's find those. Here they are. I'm just going to add a few little twinkles here and there, so very randomly I'm going to place them. And then one more, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. That'll do. So there we have our 2 cards featuring the Balloon Festoon stamp and die set. You've got your yellow version and your red version. You can tell me which one you prefer. So I hope you've enjoyed these 2 cards. As I said, if you wanted more information, you'll find it on the blog post. If you have enjoyed the video, I'd be grateful if you could give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So thank you again, and until next time, enjoy being creative. Bye.